Welcome to video 11, a short video, part of the Heart to Soul inspirational series. And this short video will focus on some helpful reflections from some of the wise masters about meditation. And first I would like to share with you what the Christian theologian Thomas Aquinas offers as a meditation method. The first requirement then for the contemplation of wisdom is that we should take complete possession of our minds before anything else does, so that we can fill the whole house with the contemplation of wisdom. And it is also necessary, he says, that we be fully present there, concentrating in such a way that our aim is not diverted to other matters. Thus Scripture says, "Return home quickly and gather yourself together there, and play there, and pursue your thoughts." And that's recorded in Ecclesiastes chapter 32, verses 15 to 16. To gather yourself together there is to draw together your whole intention. He goes on to recommend returning to oneself. Return from external things to your own mind before anything else gets hold of it, and any other anxiety distracts it. When our interior house is entirely emptied like this, and we are fully present, there is our intention. And the text tells us what to do next. And play there. What a wonderful analogy. To play before God. That for me resonates. Aquinas compares play to contemplation, what the East calls meditation. Because first it is enjoyable, and secondly, playing has no purpose beyond itself. What we do in play is done for its own sake. And the same applies to the pleasure of wisdom. And Aquinas recommends complete focusing and concentration. Abandon discursive reasoning and fix. The soul's gaze in the contemplation of unified truth. After these two steps, a third act of oneness occurs, which is like that of the angels. In it, the soul ignores everything else and enters and settles down to a sheer contemplation of the mystical heart of God. Becoming calm means calming our intellectual activities. The heart is said to be in the midst of the person. Since God dwells in our hearts, God is said to be in the midst. And there's a lovely quote here from Hosea. "I will lead her into solitude and speak to her heart to heart." Hosea chapter 2. We begin to experience the divine silence, which is a chaste silence, and through it we reverence ineffable things. What is that saying to you? What is that actually saying? Well, like Buddhist teachers, Meister Eckhart constantly advises us to let go and let be. Let your thoughts be your thoughts. Don't judge them in meditation, but do recognize them. Eckhart talks about people letting go of willing, knowing, and having. This he calls radical poverty. He is a poor person who wills nothing and knows nothing and has nothing. To undergo this letting go, one becomes empty of all experience. For a human being to possess when they did not yet exist, people should stand empty. He encourages us to follow the way of your unborn being, a return to our origins. Eckhart is very loath to encourage people to get attached to a practice, for he feels the practice can readily become an attachment and be confused with a goal. But interestingly, Eckhart tells us when all the images of the soul are taken away and the soul can see only the single one, then the pure being of the soul finds passively resting in itself the pure, form-free being of divine unity. When the being of the soul can bear nothing else than the pure unity of God. Divinity was there all along, but we hardly knew it. Interesting. Eckhart addresses the human temptation to fill in the void and the silence of the mind in meditation when he asks, if people find themselves in this way, in pure nothingness, is it not better for them to do something to drive away the darkness and the abandonment? Should such people not somehow pray, read, listen to a sermon, or carry out other works that are virtuous so as to help themselves? And the reply is no. Understand this truly, that remaining quiet, still, and for as long as a time as possible is the best thing you can do. Important gifts come one's way in these times of emptiness. It would be a great deficiency in God if He did not accomplish great deeds in you and infuse a great blessing into you, provided He finds you unencumbered and bare. What is that saying to you? Distraction, well, it happens for us all, doesn't it? We're sat there quietly in the silence, honouring the words of Sri Chimoyam Francis, being still in the presence of God, and before we know it, the mind is running riot. Yeah. In fact, this time of infusion is the moment of grace. And according to Meister Eckhart, it is a single moment, readiness and the infusion. If nature attains its highest point, God will give grace. At the same moment that the spirit is ready, God enters into it without delay and hesitation. Opening up and entering in are but a single moment. He gives practical advice, therefore be still and do not flinch from this emptiness. For you can indeed turn away from this moment, but you will never again return to it. How true. Meditation is about returning home. Home to who? Home to the beloved. It's returning home and finding the greatness that was there all along. And as Eckhart put it, God is at home. It is we who've gone out for a walk. My soul is restless for Thee, O God. I yearn for intimacy with Your Spirit. Today I ask a blessing on those watching this video, that they won't flinch from the spiritual aridity of the soul when it comes before You in those moments of great silence. Because silence is the gateway to the soul, and the soul is the gateway to God. My dear friends, Jesus, the barefoot Galilean, said this, I never said it would be easy, but I also say to your heart today, I will never leave you or abandon you. So enjoy your meditation, because it is a personal invitation to embrace the complete oneness of a loving, Holy Father, Mother God. Thank you.